all the different specialties in law, how do you manage making sure that you get the right person, the right attorney on the matter to make sure that it's the best, the most efficient result for the client? Is it something that you try to do all of it yourself, or do you have a host of attorneys that you know their specialty and you make sure that the matter gets to the right attorney and then you oversee the process much like a general counsel?
Yes. My belief is what I do and how I handle that situation is I'm an employment law attorney and a business law attorney, so I'm the front end screen, if you will. And then what I'm able to do is ascertain by long-term client relationships or just meeting with clients what truly are their legal needs. If it's a sophisticated issue, I go find a sophisticated and unique issue in intellectual property, then I will go find a sophisticated an attorney that can provide that intellectual property need. If it's a fairly basic issue, then I don't see any reason to go pay for some high-powered attorney to do it. I'll provide some high-level advice and let that business owner decide whether they want to pay for the expertise or not. So not every legal issue that comes my way necessitates using a legal expert with some finite or specialized area of practice, but some do. And the problem becomes when the business owner needs a specialist, but then they don't receive it, then they don't get the legal protections in place that they need. Then some problem happens, then they have to pay for the legal problem, and then they have to go back and redo what should have been done in place. So I always try to measure, is there an expert needed at this point in time? And quite frankly, just how companies work and how I understand them, I think they need advice on, do you need an expert or do you not? They don't really know. So I try to make sure that I match up the right level of expertise with what the company is looking for and needs. And so I'm that initial screening point. A lot of times I just provide a high-level answer to the client so they can make a decision and they don't have to find an expert. But if they need one, I recommend one, and then I have legal resources in place in my firm internally and externally to make sure the right attorney gets matched up with the right client service, and that way it gets done right on the front end, and that protects the business owner. What companies struggle with, I believe, is there's 6 different legal issues and they have to go hire 6 different law firms, and the law firms don't coordinate with one another, or True. The pricing is way out of whack for these different law firms, and it's not efficient from a time perspective, it's not efficient from a money, the cost of the legal services perspective, and a lot of times my clients don't know if they're matched up with the right legal expert. So I provide value to clients, in my opinion, in terms of making sure they get the right level of legal representation. It's no different than going to a doctor. There's sometimes where you can just meet with the nurse practitioner. There's sometimes you need to meet with the general practice doctor. And then there's sometimes where you need to go see a specialist. And who do you go to and who is recommended? I try to control and provide that service all internally within the attorneys that I work with who have different levels of expertise. But I also go outside of my law firm if I have to, because my goal is to represent the client's best interest. If I do that, then I think that's the way ethically I should do business. I think that's the integrity, and I think that's what gives clients the best level of service.